Let's get to our audience now. Lenore has another sort of help. I don't like my decorating decision. You made a purchase, and now you're in this situation. Why don't you tell us what it is, Lenore?
Yes, we decided to remodel the family room, so we sold all our furniture. And I had a decorating plan, but it didn't work out too well for me. So now the room is empty, and I'd love some suggestions for furniture, where to place it, and where we put the TV.
Okay, so you know what? I think I know we chatted before the show, and I was talking about, a sectional would be really nice in the space, but after I laid it out on paper, I do think that it's more important to make the room functional, not only from comfort level, but also for flow. So what I did is I have a love seat here. So currently the TV is here and the sofa is here. So what I'd like to do is flip those. So I want to be able to, kitchen's over here, I want to be able to have a sofa across, backing into the kitchen with a sofa table behind it. 2 lamps on that sofa table, so it's again a nice focal point, and you're creating the center point going through the room. Then you're going to install a console on that wall. You want it to be at least 30 inches high because you've got high ceilings. You don't want it too low in the space. And then I would mount the TV right on the wall, and you can even panel that wall. It would look spectacular. So then you've got 2-seater here with a table, and I would eliminate 1 chair around the fireplace. I think it's just a bit too much furniture in the space, so I would be inclined to have a swivel chair or a recliner there, something that you can, snuggle up by the fireplace and enjoy the fireplace. And then for sure, I would have an upholstered ottoman in front of that sofa. That way, you can put your feet up, you can relax. You can also have a tray on it for serving hors d'oeuvres. Really make sure that the room is multifunctional and has a lot, again, a lot of great flow to it.
Shai, I know you want to throw in your thoughts as well.
So Lenore, this is a little bit more of a budget-friendly way to look at it, but guess
Shocking
what?
For me.
I've done it like you've won the lottery. So yay, Lenore, good for you, you've won the lottery.
Oh, lucky woman.
I think one of the things here that I'm finding to be a little bit of a challenge is the placement of the fireplace. Now, I asked you, was the fireplace electrical, because it had such a deep mantle. And I think that it was a little bit, not a little bit, it was actually a lot disproportionate to the windows that were around it. So in a perfect world, what we talked about before the show was actually moving the fireplace off to this wall with where the TV is. You can definitely do some built-ins, but what I'd like to do is then expand your beautiful bay window. I mean, windows these are an important part of any home. Expand it, get some beautiful natural light, something open-backed. And the furniture placement, very similar to what Karen did. I just opted to do 2 armchairs here, so you have a little bit more movement around as you walk in, and then the sofa back to the kitchen again. But well done on that lottery.
Oh. Yeah, thanks. Maybe she won that lottery, because that'll cost some money. So now you get the she said, he said, and I like that. She's got a couple of options that she can work with now, or pick the best of both worlds. Absolutely. And get your advice from both of you.
And I think the biggest mistake that was made was the sectional that you ordered. You can do a sectional. It just needs to be a lot smaller in scale. Yeah. So I think, Lenore, you said it was 41 inches deep. Way too deep for that space. Okay. So if you went 36 inches and had just a narrower frame on it, your arm size on that sectional is way too heavy. Okay. So this is the frame here. So this is too heavy, and the whole back is too heavy. So try to find something that has a smaller scale design to it. I know that Lee Industries carries a beautiful series of sectionals, and they're a little bit more streamlined.
How do you figure that out, though, as you're shopping around a store? Because a sectional is a pretty big purchase.
Huge.
So she brings it home, and she probably measured for length.
Or you shop with Shai.
Or you shop with Shai.
Right? I mean, you could do that
too. She wasn't necessarily measuring for depth. So that's one of those things, like, you really have to think about not just the length, you've got to think about the depth. Because if it's too deep,
you need to measure your room.
You got to measure your room.
Just like Shai, Shai brought in a layout. Yeah. That's so important. Get a scale, get a tape measure, whatever it is, lay it out, ½ inch to a foot, and that way, when you place that sofa or the sectional, cut it out of paper so you can move it around the room. That way you can really see how it's going to look in the space. If you're just winging it by eye, I mean, we don't even do that.
Yeah.
I put everything on plan to make sure it's going to fit.
Tape out the space.
And
Yes.
if it works,
Or there's there are apps now that will measure your room for you. Because I hear
Exactly.
measure your space, I'm like, oh gosh, no thanks.
Well, you don't
You
even-
can get, there's an app that will actually measure your room now. We had it on the show
There is.
2
It
days
does.
ago.
Oh, there's tons.
So you
There's
just,
tons.
literally put your tablet like around the room and it
You know
gives
what
you all the measurements. Take that to the store.
Easiest tip is buy painter's tape. Get the dimensions of the piece that you're buying. Go home, map it out on the floor with
Tape
the
it
painter's
out.
tape. Walk it around. See how it feels. That's
Yeah.
really the easiest.
Yeah, good suggestions. Break time. More coming up. Stay with us.